Hey, Ramen Jet here, founding member of BIM. So glad you came by today. We're going to talk about a new blog and a chapter. We're going to talk about Napoleon Hill, Laws of Success, Failure. And it's so funny to me, and of course every chapter I go over, I can experience it to certain parts of life that I see on a daily basis. And a lot of people with the chapter of failure, a lot of people have opinions about their lives or about other people's lives, and then they use it as facts, and really the foundation is wrong. And we all understand if you have a bad foundation, then whatever you try to build, it's not going to work. It will crumble. So let me just give you a few examples of failure and just understand how people's perception of failure, or possibly just a brief moment of deterring you off what you're trying to do, is really the complete difference. You have a temporary defeat and then a failure. So let me explain that real quick. Perfect example, if you're in the business and you're throwing out a 1,000-click solo ad, and maybe you didn't get the proper opt-ins. Maybe your subject line was wrong. Maybe there was something else about it. Maybe the list wasn't ideal for what you were trying to get across and what product you may be marketing. Understand, there's a lot of variables in things. Don't ever think, okay, I tried something once, it didn't come out what I wanted to do, therefore I'm a failure. Understand, it's a law of nature that tells you this is not the way to do this particularly, whatever your goals may be. As an example, I'll give you someone else we all know about, Michael Jordan, someone we consider in the Hall of Fame and possibly one of the greatest, if not the greatest basketball player of all time. But if you look over his overall life percentage in basketball, it's 53%. Now imagine we have statues in Chicago for a man who barely made his objective, his goal, which is to make the shot, barely half the time, and we consider him a Hall of Famer. We consider him a great individual. And I'm going to give you an example of a poster I once had on my wall, and I'm sure it's on many child's walls all over the world, and it definitely fit in this circumstance. And it's shows Michael Jordan, and he gives a picture of him kind of looking off in the air, and it explains to him, he says, "I've missed more than 3,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and miss. I failed over and over and over again in my career, and that is why I succeed." Now you see in that entire part that I just said, basically it's all talking about what he didn't accomplish, the failures he actually had, and the fact that he didn't stop, the fact that he kept on going is what made him a Hall of Fame great player. Also in great other sports like baseball, you figure the majority of the people in the Hall of Fame did not average a 400 or 500 batting average, which means 400 out of 1,000, meaning 60% of the time they strike out. They are a failure at the plate more than 50% of the time. But a lot of them go into Hall of Fame, and we all idolize people like Babe Ruth and great baseball players, and their batting percentage was less than 50%. So understand, in any aspect of life, you must understand what you consider fact and fiction when it comes to failure and just a temporary setback. If you decide to do something great like adopt a dog from the pound, but yet the dog's not housebroken, you're not going to accept the failure, oh, I'm just going to have this dog and he's not going to be housebroken. That is not in your mind. It's not even a form of possibility. And that's what I want you to understand in any form and fashion in your life. The form of possibility of failure is not natural. It's not working for you. If you do something and you fail, or you have a temporary setback, understand you must take a step back, notice what you did, adjust it a little bit, and move forward. And the fact that you may not accomplish your goal the majority of the time, but the percentage when you do accomplish your goal will be so much worth it. You can be someone who's only doing 40% and be considered a Hall of Famer. And that's what I want you to understand. Each individual one of us have an ability to be happy with whatever we're doing. If we're not happy with what we're doing, there's obviously a small adjustment we must make. This is Napoleon Hill, Law of Success, on chapter on failure. I hope this will give you a small example, and hopefully you can relate to your life. And I highly suggest for you to go online and look for these books and read along with us, and definitely comment on the links below. All right, I'm Ramen Jet, founding member of BIM, and I'll see you next time. Peace.